All right, welcome back, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How are we doing? Good morning. Morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. Morning from Amsterdam. Very nice. Actually might be visiting Amsterdam. Germany and Amsterdam soon. Trying to make a trip out there. All right. Appreciate that, Rob. Press that like button as you jump in. Today, PPI data. Also, we have the Supreme Court ruling, which last time it was at 10 o'clock, but let's see if we can find that time. Does anyone know the time today? Yeah, 10 o'clock again. Okay. I think it says release is set to release rulings at about 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay. So we got CPI this morning. We have the ruling, Supreme Court ruling at 10. So a little bit of a difficult morning, I'd say. Probably a morning to allow that to come out first and then see what the result is there. Yesterday, yesterday, pretty much perfect off our 629.21. Pretty much damn perfect. So yesterday we talked about in the pre-market our CPI move into our QQQ supply. It faded, it faded, it faded every single time, right at our supply, right at our major daily supply. And finally, we got a little bit of the pullback that we needed here in the after hours. So we had that straight up move that we talked about that we need to give back, and there you go. No good deed goes unpunished. I mean, this analysis could not have been any cleaner yesterday. So congrats to those that caught a piece. Really nice stuff yesterday. We were looking at that pullback potential to 25.8. That's exactly where the market bounced off of. We talked about the potential of giving this back. That's what we've done. The Nasdaq QQQ supply level, talking about how the market loves to pop on CPI, give it all back, and man, perfect. So hopefully yesterday's live stream prepared you well, because I don't think we could have prepared much better, to be quite honest. I think everything we covered was very valid and stayed valid, and hopefully it provided opportunities for you guys. So congrats if it did. Well done. Today's a new day, so we have to create that analysis once again, which we will do here. And today, a pretty nice trade opportunity. Actually sort of showing here, actually sort of showing here in the morning, a break and retest rejection possibility of the 25.8 level. The 25.8 level was perfect yesterday for the holds, and maybe it is nice today for the rejection. So watching both sides, 25.8 today is looking very important, but we'll dive into that. Appreciate that. Biblical. Thank you, man. $10 donation for coffee. I appreciate that, man. That's the first donation in a long time. I appreciate that. Thanks for supporting the stream. Very nice of you. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on in. If you guys could, please press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And here we go. So, yesterday, we had our Nasdaq 26,000 supply. We talked about the rejections at 26,000 multiple times. We can see here on the short-term time frames, yesterday morning, as the market opened, we had a little pop over 26. We faded the data highs. We failed back under that, and we can see a perfect rejection of 26,000 that led to the morning downside. So really nice there. Now that morning downside came down into the 25.8 right here, right here. Our 25.8 level was what? That was the level we had to fill the upside move from Monday of this week, which was right here at 25.8. I'm sorry, right here. Let me zoom out. 25.8 was these previous highs that we talked about on the stream yesterday. 25.8, 25.8, 25.8, 25.8, 25.8. That's where we pulled back to. That's where we held, and that's where we bounced. Now this morning, we can see that 25.8 has been broken. And now we can see the potential of this previous low from yesterday turning into a rejection point. Now that is a very important thing to pay attention to today. If we do not reclaim 25.8 today, then this market continues lower, right? This is a very important reclaim. This is either a really nice reclaim long opportunity or a really nice break and retest rejection for more downside. So I think if there's any level to trade off today, it is very clearly 25,800 on the Nasdaq futures. That is where the good trades will set up off of. So hopefully we can get a nice clean setup right off that level today. That would be incredible. What drawing tool do I use? It's called Demo Pro. It's only on Mac. Demo Pro. D-E-M-O-P-R-O. Demo Pro. So, man, oh man, is that a beautiful spot today. You can see this morning we are popping into that level, starting to reject it a little bit. We didn't quite get there though, right? We might still need to get up into this low from yesterday, up into these lows from yesterday, possibly a little sweep of those lows, right? And then see if this is a rejection or possibly one of these right here, which could be really nice for the long side. If we can reclaim that low, that would be really nice and possibly even move us back towards that 26,000. So watching both sides right there at that 25.8, that looks really nice. Now, if we see the weakness and we fail this 25.7, I have 25.708, which is this high right here, you might be looking for that daily 20 SMA pullback today, right? If we reject 25.8, turn it into a nasty rejection point, right? If we see this turn into a nasty rejection point and we continue to drive lower, if you break this overnight low here, then you're coming down to this right here at 25,650 in the daily 20 SMA. All right, that would be your next spot. Below that, it starts to get a little bit difficult because you are going to trade into some major demand lows here. And then the last thing I'll say is just remember where the gap fill is, guys. Under 25,538, you still have the gap, right? Remember this. Don't forget, we still have the gap that is sitting there on the Nasdaq futures. Let me go ahead and show you where this comes from. Right here, you will see momentarily that we still have this right here, right? Under 25,538, you have a gap up that has yet to be filled, and maybe, just maybe, the Nasdaq needs to come back down and fill that area. So just know that is still on the table. We talked about the Monday move being on the table, and look what happened, right? We gave it all back. So under 25,538, you have nothing to hold up this market until 25,300. And so that could be a really nice 250-point zone to be looking for on the Nasdaq futures. That's if we even get to there. But for now, we can see markets holding these highs, markets holding these highs. We have these lows. We have the lows from Monday, and we can see that that's what's holding in the overnight. So we need to break that level first, get down into the daily 20, break the daily 20, get down into here. So we have a lot of work to do if we're going to look for that kind of downside. If the market stays strong today, the long is right here, over 25.8. Reclaim Ripper, that's the look. Okay, let's go to the S&P 500. S&P 500 is holding a very nice 69.63 level. You guys can see we have that high, we have this high, we have this high, we have this high, we have the Monday lows, and that is exactly where you're holding in the overnight session. So what has the downside done? The downside has simply given back the Monday straight up move. It is again simply the thing we like to term or coin, no good deed goes unpunished, right? Please remember this. This is no good deed goes unpunished. You cannot go straight up and not expect it to come straight down, okay? So you went straight up on Monday, you grinded higher, there's no pullbacks here. What have you done? You've pulled back to the exact part or the exact spot it all started. It's going to happen every single time. So don't trust these types of moves. Do not trust moves or candles that look like this. It's not trustworthy ever. So nice pullback, 69.63. Now, here is the rejection play, right? The rejection play now, if we are to reject, would be, in my opinion, I think you'd want to look for a pop and fade up at that 90 spot again, right? The 90 spot was these highs. The 90 spot was what held yesterday. And if we pop and fade there again, that would be the rejection play and the lower high to be watching. If you break below 69.63 today, you are going to trade into 69.50. If you guys recall, that is where that major order was placed at 69.50, which is held pretty much every single day. Under 69.50, you go to the daily 20 SMA at 69.40. So your target could be that 69.40 in daily 20 SMA today. That is very possible. If you recall as well, 69.40, if you break below 69.40, where do you trade to? You likely trade to the 69.13 level. And if you remember, under 69.13 is what? There's a gap. And that gap to me would probably trade down to 68.70. All right, so you got to remember there's still a gap down here on the S&P 500 futures. That's if we get there. For now, you are holding a nice 69.63 level, which is right here. That's a must hold. If you can hold there, that's good. If you can reclaim 69.90, that's even better for longs, if we can see that. Or, again, you pop, you fade, you break this low, you go to 69.50, you go to the daily 20, you break the daily 20, you go to the gap fill, you break the gap fill, you're going to gap, you're going gap fill all the way down. So we're just watching level after level, level to level trading. So today, all I'm focused on is, do we hold 69.63? Do we pop into 69.90? If we fade 69.90, do we reject? Or do we get back above it? More than that, I think the most important level of the day is very clearly, once again, 25,800. There was incredible holds at 25,800 yesterday. I mean, just ridiculous holds there. So if you look at the 1 minute chart yesterday on the Nasdaq futures, look at these holds at 25.8. I mean, there were some trappy lows, trapping shorts right at that major demand. You can see here again, later in the day, basically at the close, look at 25.8, look at the reaction off that 25.8. And so if you look at this today, you can see you are now trading below it. There is no doubt that this is the most important level of the day. It's either a pop and fade or it's a reclaim long. I would be very focused on what happens here. SPY. Or actually, let's go Qs. That level on the Qs is around 624, right in that general area. So if we go to the 30-minute chart, we can see right here, we have 624, 624, 624 yesterday's lows, and that's going to be the spot to be looking at today. All right, so right here, you can see 624 here, here. Do we reclaim that 624 and move higher, or do we pop and fade, create that bear flag, retest rejection for more downside? What's it going to be? Can't tell you right now. That would be predicting, and I don't know. But that's definitely the level to watch. Now, there is definitely some demand below that I would be very focused on, right? The thing that you need to be focused on today is the Monday low. So the Monday low is right here, and that's exactly where we're holding on the QQQ. We are holding the Monday low. That is basically the low that developed a straight up move. Now, we have moved right back to it, which is exactly perfect, right? Moving back to where you started and holding is exactly what you'd want to see for the market to hold up. So right now, the fact that this is holding is definitely still showing that there could be strength on this market, right? So this has to break. If you break that, I think you will see downside continuation, in my opinion, likely to the daily 20 SMA and 618 on the QQQ. And that daily 20 SMA, again, being a very nice target and magnet for the markets. Another thing that would break, by the way, if you broke back under 621 today, right, is what? It's that wedge, right? Look at that wedge sitting there. It's perfect. I mean, it's right at it. It's holding right at it today. So if you were to break back under that, that would be not good. And also, the funny thing is look what the wedge is coming to, right? We're sort of getting to that inflection point where something's got to happen here. It's getting super tight. Technically, it's broken above it and trying to hold above it. So maybe that is a good hold above the wedge. But if we fail back under that, I don't think that's very good for the market. So keep an eye on this Monday low. This is very important. Monday low on the Nasdaq futures is right here at our 25,700, right? Right there. Okay. SPY, again, a little bit sloppy, right? It has been, but you guys can see we have failed 694, 693, which was our major high, right? So that's very nice. The lows from Monday are right. So the demand I would be watching is right in here on the SPY. Let me go ahead and get that marked out. The demand on SPY, I would say, is right between the 690.20, 690.63 level. So right in here, right? So that's Monday low a day, 690.20. So right inside there, I'd be watching these lows to hold tight. If that Monday low holds, then we could continue higher. So let me show you this 5-minute chart right here. See this? And you're right at it. So if this does not hold right here, where are you going? I'm going to assume you're going down. And you're probably going down pretty quickly, in my opinion. There's really not much structure under that level until, in my opinion, right here at 687. Right? I don't think you would hold much if you started to reject this low. I don't think this area would hold you up very much. I think you'd probably start slipping right down into that daily 20. And hey, that daily 20 pullback, you guys know, could be fantastic, right? That could be a fantastic look for the bulls. Another daily 20 pullback, a nice pullback to demand, give us another one of these, and then go higher. So we probably are, I definitely could see that being the target today. So just keep that in mind. If you start to flush, if you start to see weakness, remember this, the daily 20 at 687. That's if you break this 690 spot. Right now, it's still holding. And we have a lot of data today to change the look, right? Remember that. QQQ, what did we talk about yesterday? We said it about 50 times before we got off the live stream. There was one thing I continued to say, and I said 629.21, 629.21, 629.21, right? That was what we said 5 times. And why was I so adamant about that level? Well, it's because you still have these highs, right? Bam, bam, bam. And look at yesterday, right at it. So this is still a very big problem, right? You need to understand, just macro here, that the upside is starting to run out of space, right? You are either needing a massive breakout. That's it. I mean, you need a massive breakout to free up. It's sort of like the gas tank is, it's like you're just running out of space. Okay, I don't know how to, I can't think of an analogy right now, but you just don't have the space to the upside unless you get a massive, and I mean massive, breakout move. Like that's the only thing left that could get the bulls higher. A pure, just bull run through these highs. That's it, right? If it's any kind of weak attempt, if it's like, maybe we'll go higher, it looks all right, it's sort of slow. That can't be, right? It has to be like a bam, just straight through this. Because without that, the buyers are going to lose at this major high. This is a huge high, and you can't just do this slow. You need a bam right through it. So that's why if you continue to see failures up here and these failed attempts, it's not that good, right? And even if we go higher from this point, the risk reward back into this high is just really not that fantastic. So just keep that in mind, right? It's not a swing trade. If anything, it's a scalp back to these highs. You really need to break this area. Without that, you are running out of space. And if you continue to see failures here, like you've seen, failure, right? You can't be slow. You need volume, you need juice, you need a catalyst, right, to get through that high. So we'll see. For now, you can see it's fading again. We'll see what PPI shows. But yeah, I mean, you need that. So the lows from Monday, 621.67. I have it down to like this 620.80 spot. You can see that's also the wedge, right? That's also right there. So let's see. Let's see. You break that, like I said, back down to the daily 20. Okay? All right. Pretty clear. Pretty clear. Pretty clear. I actually like today. I'm excited about today. I see it. It makes sense, right? Obviously, let's get these damn catalysts out of the way. Let's get these damn unknowns out of the way, such as PPI and then maybe that news, that whatever, Supreme Court. Let's get that out of the way and see if this can clean up. IWM, really nice spot to watch today on IWM. I mean, it's about as perfect as it gets. It's right at the previous day lows. And so if you see a failure below previous day lows, I think you have a great trade to the downside today on IWM back to 259. That would be really nice. If you can get a nice bam, bam, bam right underneath the previous day low, that would be incredible. So I would definitely be looking out for that today. You have a very clear sort of straight up move here. You have a nice sort of gappy low volume zone between 260.50 and 259. If you can get, don't do it right now. No. Don't do it right now. This is probably one of my top watches today. If IWM can break under PDL and give me a nice little PDL break and retest, that would be incredible for the downside towards 259, 258. Let's see if it can do it. Did we just get some kind of random candle? We did, right? Yeah. So something's hitting the market right now. What is it? You guys see any news? Hamish! I don't think we got any news. I think that's just sort of a... Let's see. Let's check X real quick. Anything? Any breaking news? Breaking news. SPY. Let's see. Anything? I don't see nothing. Might just be a volatility candle. Sort of pointless. Okay. All right. So that's IWM. SMH pulling back today and coming back into the major demand level, right? So right here, you guys can see previous highs, previous lows, and here we are again at this low. So this is a must hold for SMH, right? If you break under this 388 on SMH and you see a little bit of semiconductor weakness, I think you got a nice trade down to 384, right? Take a look at this right here. What is this? No good deed goes unpunished, right? Straight up on the SMH, if you break under 388, I would not mind to see a little bit of a downside move right into that 384. I do not mind that trade today either. That looks like a nice trade as well, right? So 388 to 384, definitely something I'm eyeing on the SMH today if we do see pullbacks on the market. Okay, gold, sick, same level, same hold, sick. Trade's over though. It's just, I'm not going to chase gold at all-time highs. That's an absolute deal killer for me. But highs here, nice lows, bam, bam. Even yesterday, bam, holding that low at 45.80. I mean, just perfect demand spot, right? Just, it really doesn't get much cleaner than that, guys. It really does not. Like previous highs just turning into massive lows, you know, just really good stuff. But hey, it's over, right? I mean, this is where the juice was made, okay? This is where the boys made their money. This is where the traders that are cashing out on gold right now were long, right? They were long here because they trusted this high. They were not long here chasing a breakout through all-time highs. Now, these boys up here, they might get lucky once in a while, and maybe this thing rips today and you catch a nice little gold juicer from chasing all-time highs. But I can tell you that these boys up here chasing all-time highs are going to get obliterated. I mean, there's probably no better word than obliterated with that mindset, right? So what's the trade on gold? Patience and allow it to come back down to demand. That's it. That, or maybe even look for it to come back down to this demand and fill this gap here, maybe even looking to short this on rejection to fill this area here. But there is absolutely no way that the right trade today is to start longing gold at the all-time high. It's just not a trade. And even if it goes straight up today, I don't care what you say. It's not a good trade. The way gold moves, this thing could go straight here in 2 minutes. And you do not want to be a part of that. So you got to buy these names. You got to buy gold at demand levels. You cannot chase gold. Man, watching this asset intraday, boy, oh boy, is that thing an absolute menace. So please be careful if you are in the gold world. You guys that trade gold, you know that. Yeah, please be careful. IBIT, man, a surprising win. Holy shit, right? Look at this hold. This was perfect. I did not expect it. We talked about the hold. We talked about the possibility. We talked about the, hey, IBIT is actually sort of holding up here on this little retest and this daily 20. And man, what a move, right? Very pleased to see this. I really do want crypto to move higher here, to be quite honest. I'm not a huge crypto guy, but I do want to see crypto come back, because if crypto's back, that means the market's, risk on. And I like risk on markets. So I would like to see crypto move higher. I would like to see Bitcoin find strength here. And we're starting to see it. We are, right? We are. We're starting to see it. So we can see previous highs, previous highs, previous highs. Here's your lows, 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 right? That's really nice. Nice break and retest hold there. Nice daily 20 SMA curler. This is really good stuff. And today, if IBIT holds above these highs right here, that's even better stuff, right? So this could really start to move again towards this 56. So yeah, definitely intrigued by this move. This could be sort of your move back up to 100,000 on Bitcoin. I think that's very possible, right? You might be looking for that 100K again. If you can maintain like this daily 20 right here, maintain like this 90,000, I think you could look for that 100K again. So not bad, not bad. I would be watching. And if that happens, there's some nice setups, right? Hood looks good. Coinbase is interesting. The crypto names definitely worth watching today for me. Silver, yeah, I mean, man, silver is just absolutely gone. The only thing I could say on silver, guys, here's my claim to fame. Okay, here's the one good thing that I provided to you on silver. It was this day right here. If anyone was here on the 29th of December, you remember there was one thing that we talked about, right? It was, don't short silver because it had one downside move after a parabolic upside day, right? If you guys were here, you should remember that day. We said, please do not think that a parabolic move higher does not result in a straight down move. I remember this morning, Monday morning, everyone was panicking about gold or silver tanking, and most traders forget about what happened to the left, right? So if you're going to go like this, then this is normal, okay? Like, this is normal if you went like this. Now, this is not normal if you've been going sideways, right? If this thing's just sort of been doing nothing and then you go like that, that's bad, okay? But if you're going to go like this, you are going to go like this. And that is opportunity, right? And you can see from that point, look at where silver is. Just nothing but an opportunistic long. So really nice. I haven't traded it, but I hope that my advice is helping some of you out there. Our levels have been spot on. There's just no bet. I mean, guys, at this point, if you weren't long here, then I don't know what to say, right? That's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. And this is absolutely perfect. So at this point, there's really no better level to long silver than right here at 82. Not sure you're going to even get back to that. If you want to get into it really short term, then you're just watching these highs, right? You're just sort of structuring this thing higher. There's your market structure, right? Here's structure 1, here's structure 2, and here is structure 3. Pretty incredible structure on silver. Pretty damn incredible. Look at that. That's just perfect building blocks on silver. So you just keep sort of watching those blocks, man. 89, 86, 83. All right, let's see what the data does. PPI. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Boring. Not much. Broke 25.8. Did it? Oh, right at it. Ooh, this makes me want to pop open that old futures account right now and just slam a nice NQ short, doesn't it? Oof. Oh, man, don't do it on data, man. Wait for us. Please wait for us. 25.8 on the dot. Bam, 25.8 on the dot. Hamish, appreciate that, man. Core retail sales. Thank you, Hamish. Retail sales slightly higher than expected. PPI. Oh, what's the actual, Hamish? Okay. PPI, it's not updated here yet, huh? Yeah, they didn't give the forecast number. Interesting. It's funny, they didn't put the forecast number in this either. That's weird. What the hell is the forecast? So PPI rose a little bit, guys. Look at this. So actual was 3%. So we've actually risen. PPI has risen here to a high since August of 2025. So interesting. Interesting. Yeah. PPI month over month. Okay. We'll just watch the levels, right? We'll just keep watching the levels. Okay. So 25.8. That's the level. Month over month is flat. Got it. What do I care about? What I care about is the key levels. If we reject 25.8 today, we're looking for downside. If we get above it, I'm looking for the reclaim ripper. That's about it. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to Tesla. If you guys could, press that like button for me. You know what I want to look at real quick? I want to start using this. You guys heard it, Kalshi? I want to start using this a little bit more. I think we should. I think we could integrate this into our streams. Make some predictions together. That could be sort of fun. Fed decision in January, 95% maintain. That's the US GDP growth. They gotta have something on the tariff thing, right? I feel like we are in a good position to, like, we're pretty educated in terms of what's going on. I feel like this is, the reason I like this is because it's not like you're trading against computers. You're trading against other people. And I know there's probably a lot of idiots on this website. So I feel like we're in a good position to possibly sort of run this board right here. if we make some smart decisions, right? I mean, we're pretty much tuned in, right? I would say we're tuned in more than 50% of the people on this website. There's probably a lot of people just slamming random stuff. Okay. Tesla. Okay. 1 hour. So Tesla failed to hold yesterday. Failed to hold above the Friday high, failed to hold above the Monday low, is now trading below it. Let's look for a pullback, all right? Let's look for a pullback. Yeah, I don't really consider that gambling, to be honest. I don't. That's not really gambling. Is that gambling? It's a decision. I don't think that's gambling. I mean, I would draw the line with there. I don't think that's gambling. I mean, if it's like, what's the Fed going to do? If you're educated and you know what the Fed's going to possibly do, you know, with a high conviction, it's definitely higher than a gambling chance, I would say. But yeah, I mean, everyone just loves to scream gambling, right? To just sort of make it seem like whatever you're doing is stupid. That's gambling, bro. You're just gambling. Anyways, 440. I mean, that's just, you guys know, as a day trader, as someone who trades, there's nothing more, like if you're just talking to a friend or talking to a family member, there's nothing more that fires you up than when they say that's gambling, right? I just, you know, it really gets you fired up. It's like, okay, let's not have this conversation. Let's not have this conversation. This isn't going to end well. Anyways, 447, 440, 449. Hey, if you think it's gambling, then don't use it. See you later. 447, 449, guess what? You can do whatever you want. Watch that level on Tesla. Daily 50 SMA. Let's see if there's a little bit of action there at the daily 50. I don't really like Tesla today. If I was to be honest. I don't love it. I don't really see much. It's sort of sloppy. So, not really interested, to be quite honest. Let's move on. Google. I like the pullback today. I love the pullback today, actually. I really am interested in this right here. I want to see if Google can pull back to some of these previous highs right here. 330.54 to 331.50. These highs from Thursday, these highs from Friday. I'm liking this, all right? I'm liking that. I'm liking that pullback spot. Let's see if we can get that, all right? Right here, right here, right here. Break, retest, long, right? Retracement, roughly the 50 to 61.8 retracement of this move right here. Little pullback, retest these highs. I think that's a good spot. So that's definitely a spot that I have alerted on today. So that's something I'm watching there. Amazon, another good spot. Now, Amazon is interesting on both sides. If markets are weak today, I'd be interested in downside. Under the 239 spot, under the 238.50 spot, there is little to no demand on Amazon. So let's remember this, right? No good deed goes unpunished, right? Take a look at this. Here's your highs. Here's some lows. Look at this below here. Nasty little spot there. So if markets start to unravel a little bit, Amazon's going to be a spot that I'm eyeing. Under 238.50, you got little to nothing until the daily 20 at 233. That's a nice little spot right there. I would be paying attention to that. Yeah, that's sort of something I'm keeping eyes on for. So right there on Amazon, definitely interesting. Let's go to some semiconductors. Nvidia, again, just reminding me how just ridiculous this stock is lately. I have no words. I really don't. I don't know. I can't explain Nvidia lately. It's being controlled by macroeconomic news, which we've seen in the past. It pops, it fades, it pops, it fades, it fades, it pops. It does a whole lot of nothing. And that's about it, right? 184, 187. That's that, right? That's that. And hey, you could look for the long here off these lows again for 187 if you want, but I'm just really not that interested in trading in this channel. So not much there. AMD, big watch for me today. Love it. Love the pullback. We did get the breakout move yesterday. So unfortunately, yesterday you just went vertical, right? Here's what I've been talking about stocks just not providing opportunity. So ding, 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 ding. Market opens. AMD goes straight up $4 a share in 2 minutes. What do you do with that? There's nothing you can do with that. The pullback is now interesting, right? Now this is interesting, and here's why. So 4-hour chart on AMD. Here's some nice previous consolidation here, right? Between this 214 and 216 zone. And right now, we are pulling back to that. So I would like to see AMD try to hold between this 214, 216 zone. If we can have a nice hold in here, I don't mind this to continue higher. Now, the other pullback level that we talked about yesterday was right here at that 211. That could also be needed as well. So watching both spots. 211, 210 is the secondary spot. The first spot, if AMD just wants to stay super strong, is right here between 214, 216. Broadcom had interest yesterday over 355, but it's ultimately failed. I don't mind looking to see if Broadcom can actually create a higher low for once in its life. That would be nice here. Oops. 347.66. So I don't mind looking for Broadcom to maybe make a higher low right here. You guys can see right here, highs, 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 and look at these lows. So I'm not opposed to this. I'm going to need to see the SMH strong, and I'm going to need to see the Nasdaq strong. But if this can start to hold tight along the 100 SMA here and create a higher low for maybe another 355 break, not opposed to that. Something I'm watching there. WDC really didn't provide much of an entry point yesterday. Still waiting for pullbacks to 204. SMDK did give... Oh, man. Hold on, SMDK. Shit. Okay. So SMDK yesterday basically traded sideways, consolidated above the key demand level at 380. Look what it's starting to do this morning. So this is interesting. SMDK, you can see here on the hourly chart, this stock has been an absolute menace. Previous highs, lows, lows. That's good. The best pullback is still 363, 360. That would be an incredible retest to look for. But right now, look at this hold that's coming in. Pretty damn nice. APP, this one has been interesting. It's grinding back, and it's really actually it's reclaiming some major spots here. So APP has officially reclaimed these lows right here at 650. So not bad. If we can get maybe a pullback long at 650 here, I think that's actually quite interesting to fill in this move at 691. That would be the ultimate target. So that's not a bad watch either. Yeah, MU, good pullback yesterday. Finally, needed, necessary pullback. I don't know if it's enough, personally. I'm not feeling it today on MU. I'm not sure if I like this. It's okay. It's a good spot, 355, like these two spots right here. But I'm not sure it's enough. I think you might need to see a little bit more. So I'm not sure and I still just I'm just not loving. When I look to the left, I'm just not comfortable. I'll tell you that, right? When I look to the left here, there's one spot and really one spot only that gets me interested in longs, and that's right here. And that's 300. It continues to be 300. It's where you broke out right here, and you have never come back to it. I still think you are going to see MU at 300 in the future. And that will be a long when that happens. But I just don't want to be caught chasing the highs when you still have this very suspicious straight up move right here that at some point is going to pull back. It will. But we shall see when. When it does, it'll be a nice day. But for now, I'm going to sort of stay away from it just a little bit. Bob has been sick. Aquo failed yesterday. Let's take a look at some crypto names, and then we're getting out of here. Hood, one of my top watches today. Crypto's got some juice this morning. Hood is pulling back and retesting some previous highs. So we have previous highs, previous lows. We have these highs here. We have these lows or highs. We have these highs. We have these highs. I like this zone right here for Hood to create a higher low. You have a low. You have a higher low. You have a potential higher low here. You have an uptrend. And I like this spot right here on Hood. You have crypto strength today. If that happens, I like the upside continuation. All right. That's something I would definitely look for. 119, 118, right in there. Looking to see if that can hold tight. I like it. Something I'd be watching. Coinbase over 260 gets sort of interesting. Watch that 260. Got an alert there today. Oh, last one I want to talk about is actually Netflix. Because Netflix is making an interesting move here into earnings. So Netflix, look what we're doing. This is either massive reclaim long into earnings, or massive rejection. I mean, this is it right here. Here's your spot. So this is definitely something I'm watching. Guys, why are you asking me if I'm out of stocks that I'm in a long-term share position? Please don't track my long-term shares. Like, I'm not a panic seller on shares. So I'm going to be in ARM for a long time, my friend, and you don't need to ask if I'm out, because the answer is no. You guys need, there is a very large problem with a lot of people out there, and it's the fact that you can't buy something and just understand that it's a long-term investment. That is why no one ever gets long-term investments, because they want to buy long-term investments and then they panic when it goes down against them over the next few days. Please understand the difference between a long-term investment and a day trade. The only way you are going to build a portfolio over time is if you trust your long-term investments, and you can't lose trust in it over 3 days. Like, my goodness gracious. Please think about that and just think about what you're saying. Buy shares and buy comfortable amount of shares and don't panic. I have 100 shares of ARM, right? If it goes down $100, which is not going to happen, I'll lose 10 grand. If it goes down $5, I'll lose $500. I'll be all right, right? I'll be fine. Don't worry. So lows, 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 highs, highs, highs. Watch out for that level. Could reject, or it could reclaim rip. I'd be watching both sides. And again, for ARM, this is the weekly chart, right? Anyone over the last year that decided to buy some shares within this area here, right, between the 90 and 100 area, anyone that decided to buy shares here, 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 made money, right? They made 75% on their investment. At some point, right, I would like to see in this area ARM to start to hold up. But I know it's not going to be something that happens tomorrow or today or the next day. This is a weekly chart. This is a year of time. So what am I doing here? I'm trusting time, right? I'm trusting that this zone will hold, and it's not going to happen tomorrow. So you need to stay patient. This is not just some, it's going to happen tomorrow for us, and we're all going to celebrate. Okay. With that said, it's time to move on. So Nasdaq. Oh my goodness. Who took this? Anyone? Anyone fade 25.8 today? Son of a gun. Oh, man. There's your trade. That's your trade of the day. You're done for the day right there. It's over. What was that on ES? We're going to have to watch this spot now. 69.83 to around the 69.80 it looks like. Yeah. We might have to keep that on the charts here. Just a little bit. Anyone fade 25.8? Shit. Okay. Could be an exciting day. Oh, DIA is under 492? Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let's look at that, Rob. Yeah, DIA looks good, Rob. You got the short under 492. Nice. Very nice, man. Nice call. Yeah, that's what we were looking for, right? Under this 492, you could go right here, 487. Let's look at Dow Jones. Yeah, under the 49,270. I think we were looking for that move to 49,000. Yeah, looking good. I'd say as long as DIA is under that 492, you're good to go, man. Right there. Really nice failure under that 492. These highs right here, I don't see much holding this up till right here at 488, 487. So very nice, Rob. Good trade, man. Way to be on top of that one. Okay. That is going to be it. If you guys could, please press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Today is Wednesday, so I am trading live with the mentorship group. So if you guys are part of the group, make sure to remember, we got the group Wednesdays, Wednesday group trading. We got some of the guys in there today, so make sure to tune in if you want. but I'll be with the mentorship today. Yeah, if you guys are interested in any of the things that I provide, you can check out the links down below. If you could, please press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and once again, appreciate you being here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.